Hello, agus fáilte a bhreis go SpeakGaelic. Welcome back to SpeakGaelic. Untitled a bhí ceamach. Do you enjoy shopping? Untitled a bhí ceamach. Maybe you enjoy a wander round na búchan, the shops. Na búchan. Or perhaps you prefer to shop Eilean, online. Eilean. Well, if you do, you're in for a treat, as shopping, particularly clothes shopping, is the topic for this episode. And if you're like me and enjoy shopping, maybe a bit too much, let's hope you don't end up using one particular Gaelic phrase, taisbeanadh. Literally, in English, I don't have a brown penny. In other words, I'm broke. I'll try to let you hear it again over the next half hour, but first, let's see what's ahead of us. How to discuss clothing.
Eilean Leòdhais seo orm, agus han ginsi mór uaine orm.
Calum Maclean endeavours to show us his artistic side. We'll talk money. And we'll meet Gaelic learner Tim Parish, who started learning the language when he moved to the beautiful Eilean Leòdhais. It's time to speak Gaelic. Are you ready? Most of us have to shop for clothes at some point, so we'll start by looking at fo-thiotalan. Clothes. Fo-thiotalan. Let's quickly go through some of the most common items of clothing. Gensi. Jumper. Gensi. Bhruidhinn. Trousers. Bhruidhinn. And for your feet, bhruidhinn. Shoes. Bhruidhinn. To tell someone what it is you're wearing, you say ha, followed by whatever it is, orm, on me, orm. Ha bhruidhinn orm. I'm wearing trousers. Ha bhruidhinn orm. To talk about what someone else is wearing, you use the same phrase, but with eidh, on him, eid, or odda, on her, odda. If the person is male, you would say ha bhruidhinn. He's wearing trousers. Ha bhruidhinn. And if the person wearing the clothing is female, ha bhruidhinn odda. She's wearing trousers. Ha bhruidhinn odda. Now, with clothing, it's all about the look. So here are some useful adjectives. Mór. Big. Mór. Big. Small. Big. And because we're in Scotland, blah. Warm. Blah. To discuss clothing, you'll also need to know your colours. So here are a few. Dù. Black. Dù. Buie. Yellow. Buie. And uaine. Green. Uaine. If you go to our website, you'll find the Gaelic for more colours and items of clothing. But for the moment, let's listen to this conversation.
I found you.
Ha, Shaul. Ha gensi orm, gensi blah. Agus ha bhruidhinn seach orm. Agus at. Ha seach georst.
Chanil, ach, ha an léine tí seo orm. Eilean Leòdhais seo orm, agus han ginsi mór uaine orm. Ha stoching in blá orm cúiseach. Shall.
Stel him na broken agad.
Of course, Shall. Stel him an at-dhealbh agad.
Tapalat, ha nat ma. Hai blah.
ché tionndadh sin.
Sé tionndadh.
Ha bonite tionní, bonite down, agus stoch fuireach.
Ha cóta fada cuireach. Agus ha broken Dùn Èideann. Na ché ha spatseal.
Ha spatseal.
Agus seoul. Elsie sin.
Sin Elsie. Ha cóta gorm ora, agus stoch carstin. Ha ishe cuireach spatseal. Na chéal.
Hai spatseal. Ha mi dul amach anoch.
Davis de cuireast.
Ha mi dul go áirit anoch. Bí mi cuiream skirt, agus seachait, agus nata searlim.
Did you recognise some of the phrases there? Emma told Michael, ha gensi orm, gensi blá. I'm wearing a jumper, a warm jumper. Ha gensi orm, gensi blá. And went on to say, agus ha brikish is seachait orm. And I'm wearing trousers and a jacket. Agus ha brikish is seachait orm. We heard quite a few colours mentioned. Dhéine gorm, a blue shirt. Dhéine gorm. And Michael was also wearing a gensi uaine, a green jumper. Gensi uaine. We heard Emma and Michael giving a good description of what Shawnee was wearing. Ha bonneachtaidh, bonnet down. He's wearing a bonnet, a brown bonnet. Ha bonneachtaidh, bonnet down. And she went on, ha ceuta fataidh. He's wearing a long coat. Ha ceuta fataidh. And on his feet, ha broken Dùn Èideann. He's wearing brown shoes. Ha broken Dùn Èideann. We also heard, na ché a ha spatseal. Isn't he looking smart? Na ché a ha spatseal. Spatseal is a word you'll often hear in relation to the clothing someone is wearing. And Michael and Emma thought Elsie was just as spatseal, as she was wearing a blue coat. Ha ceuta gorm odda. She's wearing a blue coat. Ha ceuta gorm odda. Let's listen again to some of that conversation.
Ha gensi orm, gensi blá. Agus ha brikish seachait orm. Agus at. Na cha seachait orst.
Chanil, ach, ha an léine tí seo orm, ha léine gorm seo orm, agus han gensi mór uaine orm. Ha stoching in blá orm cuireach. Seall.
Stel na broken agad.
Ha het córstal. Stel an athéireach agad.
Tapalat. Ha nat ma. Ha blá.
Na ché tionndadh sin.
Sé tionndadh.
Ha bonite tionní, bonite down, agus stoch fuireach.
Ha cóta fada cuireach. Agus ha broken Dùn Èideann. Na ché ha spatseal.
Ha spatseal.
Agus seoul. Elsie sin.
Sin Elsie. Ha cóta gorm ora, agus stoch carstin.
And remember, you can support your learning by listening to our podcasts, which you can download from BBC Sounds. But now it's time to welcome today's Gaelic learner, who's sure to motivate us. I've been joined by Tim Parish from the Eilean Leòdhais. But before we start talking, let's find out a bit more about him.
Smisha Tim Parish. I'm Tim Parish and I live on the Isle of Lewis. I moved here from Cambridgeshire with my wife and our two dogs, Monty and Pippa. I used to run diving expeditions off the west coast of Scotland, and we fell in love with the Isle of Lewis after a holiday here. Sé fia yo Coinnichidh. I started learning Gaelic when I moved to the island, as I felt it was important to learn the language of the area that I'd moved to. Maras Chica Hami Dianu Kursakan Gaelic Eilean. I try to speak Gaelic when I'm out and about, and the community has really encouraged me with my learning. Sheneach Toirt Avanam, but I'm now retired. Bimi Hasta Toirt F.A. and Ellen. This is dheilbh, one of my favourite places to take photographs. The meaning of dheilbh is a small valley, and this little beach is at the end of it. It's absolutely beautiful. When I'm composing a photograph, I look for the right type of light. Everybody looks for a great photograph on a sunny day, but I prefer a little bit of cloud cover to soften the light so it's not as harsh. Fuireach egontai, bímia coed ena dheilbh. Nimi turg Dùn Èideann ashar. I have this sunrise. It's got a lovely light feel to it. The last one I'm considering is this black and white photograph of a derelict house in Tunail-rèile. It's a very substantial house, but it's empty and it's falling apart gradually. I'd like to continue trying to speak more Gaelic when I'm out and about in the community.
Well, fáil tuirt, Tim, do speak Gaelic, cumara how?
Oh, hagama tapalis.
Now, you said that moving to Lewis was quite a life change and that it's a fo-thiotalan, a really tight-knit community. What was that like for you?
It was fantastic, really. I was born in a small village back in the 50s down in England, and it's the atmosphere in the community in Lewis now is similar to as it was when I was a child. So it's just a very friendly and supportive community.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what works best for you when learning Gaelic?
I've tried various different kinds of learning, and I think the face-to-face learning is probably the best because you get to verbalise the Gaelic more often and practice speaking it.
Yeah. And is there any specific part that you find quite tricky?
Verbs. And the tenses of the verbs was quite tricky. It's it is very difficult, and to a assassinate like me, the tenses quite often sound the same. So
yeah, it is about tuning in your ears.
it is. Yes.
But once you get it, you're away.
Yes.
And what advice would you give to Gaelic speakers to encourage learners like yourself?
Be a bit more patient.
Yeah.
And speak slower.
Yeah.
I think that Gaelic in Lewis in particular, each village has a slightly different accent and uses slightly different words for the same thing. So speaking a bit slower so I can catch up is beneficial.
Absolutely. And eventually that'll be a huge benefit when you understand all the nuances.
Yes.
But it's tricky at the beginning.
It is.
And what would you like to do with your Gaelic learning?
I want to be able to sit down and hold a conversation with my next door neighbour or somebody down the road in Gaelic without having to worry about it and think about what I'm going to say. It's so I'd like it to become more natural.
Yeah, that's a huge thing I think for most speakers.
Yes.
Now, we saw that you have a huge interest and take some beautiful photographs.
That's very kind.
Oh, it's true. They were gorgeous. Do you find that the area inspires your photography?
It's certainly a beautiful area to live and take photographs, and the light is magnificent. The weather isn't always conducive, but I mean that's half the benefits. I think I quite enjoy looking at the harder weather and taking photographs in some of the more atmospheric conditions, shall we call them?
Yeah, very dramatic.
Yes, it can be.
Now, do you have a favourite Gaelic word or phrase?
Yes, I do. Ac neach-ionnsachaidh. It's my favourite. It means but unfortunately, and is very useful for when I'm making excuses for my Gaelic performance.
And if you can make them in Gaelic, then all the better.
Yes.
Well, Tim, MacIlleathain, thank you so much for coming to speak to us, and good luck with your Gaelic learning.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's leave the studio for a while and head out and about in the company of our own intrepid explorer, Calum MacIlleathain. Calum Maclean. I suppose we always think of Calum as an outdoor type, but we're in for quite a surprise as he's going to show us his artistic side.
Eilean, art, Eilean. It surrounds us every minute of the day. And today I'm in Dùn Èideann, Edinburgh, Dùn Èideann, to see some art that will literally surround me because it's an old railway tunnel. This is tunail-rèile, Colinton Tunnel, tunail-rèile, and it's fantastic. The tunnel was part of the Balerno railway line, neach-ionnsachaidh in Gaelic, which closed in 1967. It opened again in the 1980s as part of a walkway, but over the years the tunnel's appearance put people off using it. And do you know what this tunnel needed? A makeover. Chris Rutherford was the lead artist on the project.
The tunnel was a dank, miserable place before. It was wet, it was threatening, it was very dark and yellow, and it's actually featured in horror novels in the past. And we wanted to make a draw for the area, and it's become that for the whole Water of Leith.
So, who made this?
The tunnel was a blend. We got professional artwork done by both me and professional street artists, but also we worked with 500 school children, so they had hands-on involvement in transforming this area for the community.
Is there a theme to the art as we travel through the tunnel?
When I saw the research that the Colinton Tunnel Committee had done over 2 years, a page in, there was the Robert Louis Stevenson poem, and I just thought it was an absolute no-brainer. He was from the area. He would have travelled on this railway line when it was here and when he was a boy.
The neach-dhealbh runs the length of the tunnel, and the bàrdachd is designed to sound like the noise of a train moving over the tracks of a neach-dhealbh. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. All of the sights of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. And here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. And here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is a green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. Here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. And do you know the best part about reciting the bàrdachd in the tunnel? I got a badge.
Dùn Èideann, Calum. Congratulations! Dùn Èideann. It's always good to get a badge. What a fantastic art installation, and thanks to Calum's linguistic abilities, we know that Eilean is art, bàrdachd is poetry, and a neach-ionnsachaidh is a railway line. Neach-ionnsachaidh. If you want more of Calum's take on the language, make sure you follow us on all of the usual social media platforms. Now, a bit of teachel, I hope you're ready to speak some more Gaelic. We're going to learn some words and phrases that might come in handy if you're shopping, ans na búchan, in the shops, ans na búchan, or if you're shopping online. Neach-ionnsachaidh, shopping online. Neach-ionnsachaidh. And if you're shopping, you'll need money. So here are some useful words when discussing money. Airgid, money. Airgid. We're only able to cover the basics here, but you'll find a very comprehensive list on our website. First of all, a penny. Skilling. Skilling. Pence. Skillingen. Skillingen. A single pound is nocht. Nocht. And pounds in Gaelic, nochtichen. Nochtichen. So, for example, £10 would be 10 nochtichen, £10. neach-ionnsachaidh. And £20, fiche-nocht. Fiche-nocht. Now you'll notice I said fiche-nocht instead of fiche-nochtaigh. Apart from £10, deich-nochtaigh, all other multiples of 10 take the singular form, nocht. Nocht and nochtaigh. Now to ask the price of something, you say J na hai. How much is it? J na hai. And to reply, hai. It is. Hai. If it costs £10, hai deich-nochtaigh. It's £10. Hai deich-nochtaigh. To ask how much something was, J na bhai. How much was it? J na bhai. And to reply, bhai followed by the cost of it. It was. Bhai. Bhai deich-nochtaigh. It was £10. Bhai deich-nochtaigh. Let's listen to the following conversation where people are discussing how much items of clothing costs and see how many you recognise.
Still am de haircut, Hamish.
Taplat.
Roans na búidjin.
Charó mé ans na búidjin, cheannig mé an seacat ag leine.
Jé the bheach a seo a Hamish.
Oh, a sin dahoch, Jé haun.
A Hamish, scarta gidich, scarta bhria.
Gina ha sculpta cos galas.
Ha scarta mar seo mú ga not agus cúcat skilling.
Hai gléamh ria, cheannaigh mise, rúthtáins na búidjin.
Ha búidjin spáteal ann an Madrid.
Dír beach an at.
Oh, stallam sin.
At le dahan irical. Chosci trícid sa cóig nótachan.
Seo an at a Charlam. Bí an at seo orm ans an lári.
Chanelli go spáteal ach ha coit má orst. Ndra you ans the búidjin andra.
Fá mé ans na búidjin. Chénnych mi tai. Jé beach.
Oh, stallam na dahan.
Jé na bha an tai.
Van tai seo fichit sa cóig nótachan.
Jé?
Fichit sa cóig nótachan. Still am taian.
A seacat mar seo a cos cóig nótachan díag ag leine.
Did you recognise some of the words and phrases there? Aundra asked Seamus, and Ro ounce na búidjin. Were you in the shops? And Ro ounce na búidjin. He hadn't been in the shops. Cheannaigh mé an teachkit bhruidhinn. I bought the jacket online. Cheannaigh mé an teachkit bhruidhinn. We also heard Aundra ask Alice, Jana has skirt a cosk. How much does a skirt cost? Jana has skirt a cosk. And Alice's reply about her charity shop purchase, Da not agus cúcat skilling, £2.50. Da not agus cúcat skilling. Aundra had also been shopping, and Katrina asked him, Jana va an tie? How much was the tie? Jana va an tie? He replied, Fichet sa cóig nóchtaigh, £25. Fichet sa cóig nóchtaigh. Let's listen to some of that conversation again. And remember, all of the conversations from this series are available on our website with bilingual transcriptions.
Roans na búidjin.
Charo mé ans na búin, cheannich mé an seacait ag leine.
Dé a bheach a seo a héimeis.
Ó, ha sin dathach, Dé hán?
A héimeis, scarta gidit, scarta bhria.
Dé ha sculpta cos galas.
Ha scarta mar seo mú gá not agus cúcat skilling. Nráú ans na búin andra.
Fa mé ans na búin, Coinnichidh mi tai. Dé bech.
Oh, stal na dahin.
Dé na bha an tai.
Van tai seo fichit sa Coinnichidh.
Dé?
Fichit sa Coinnichidh, still am taian.
When expressing an opinion, we'll often use the phrase, I think, ha mé smuinneachidh. When we use it, we need to remember to say, I think that. I think that it's raining. Ha mé smuinneachidh go bhfuil an tuisce ann. That, in Gaelic, is gun, or just gu, and it uses the secondary form of the verb, so not ha, but bhfuil. Go bhfuil. Ha mé smuinneachidh go bhfuil an tuisce ann. I think that it's raining. You can also use go bhfuil after lots of other expressions like I hope, ha mé an dáchas, I hope that you're all right, ha mé an dáchas go bhfuil cearst go leor. Well, we've covered quite a lot in this episode. Let's remind ourselves of some of it. To say what you're wearing, ha, followed by whatever it is, orm. If you're wearing trousers, ha bhruidhinn orm. I'm wearing trousers. Ha bhruidhinn orm. To say what someone else is wearing, using and ora. Ha bonnetshid. He's wearing a bonnet. Ha bonnetshid. And ha ceumannan goramora. She's wearing a blue coat. Ha ceumannan goramora. To ask how much something costs, tionndadh. How much is it? Tionndadh. Or, how much was it? Tionndadh. Tionndadh. You'll find comprehensive notes about money and colours online and in our podcasts. And if you've been shopping, I hope you'll remember our phrase from earlier and that you'll return home with more than a scaoilean ruach in your pocket. Until the next time, mar sin leibh an drasta.